Hi, my name is Mitchell, and today I'll be discussing Bennie and the Jets, a Giving Voices to Values case, concerning a man named Bennie Gordon, an accountant that works for Jet Energy in North Carolina. Bennie Gordon recently graduated 2 years ago with his master's degree in accounting and is now a manager of accounting at the division level at the Jet Energy Company. The company serves 7 million customers in southern states. They are not allowed to receive more than 12.5% return on the operating income they receive from sales. He also reports to the controller of his division, named Sarah Higgins, who in turn reports to the CFO of the company, named Sam Thornton. Gordon has identified some irregular accounting entries that he believes will make the company's returns lower, which would keep the state regulators from cutting their rates that they charge customers. One such example of this entry are insurance rebates they received from insurers on nuclear power plants, given based upon their safety records. The rebates total approximately $26 million and $30.5 million each, and each were not booked into the proper accounts. I'm going to discuss 4 questions regarding this case. The first is, what process would I recommend Bennie Gordon follow in bringing his concerns out in the open? And do I think they should include whistleblowing? First of all, my opinion is that, like any other important matter, the concern should be voiced through the chain of command at the company. He should report first to his supervisor, Sarah Higgins. If the report is not taken up the chain of command, it may be worthwhile to consider escalating the matter higher up the organizational ladder, possibly to the chief compliance officer named Joan. If it is not taken seriously, then whistleblowing might be a good thing to consider, but it should only be considered to be done in the interest of helping the company and not for his own personal gain. The second question I'm going to answer is, it says, assuming you are Bennie's friend and he comes to you for advice, what are the ethical values that should be front and center in deciding how best to advise Bennie on what to do? I believe that one would need to keep in mind how the organization handles ethical concerns. Bennie's personal standards should be considered when advising him on how to act, and the public interest should be weighed against the company's interests. The third question is, what reasons and rationalizations do you anticipate may be lodged by stakeholders based upon the advice you might give, and how would you counter them? I think stakeholders may rationalize the treatment of the accounting entries in a variety of ways. First might be that they say that the continued employment of their employees could be impacted by rate changes. The rebates are also probably irregular and hard to predict. Therefore, they should not affect their regular rates paid by the customers. And they may say that insurance income has nothing to do with their operations, so it should not be classified in that way. I think Bennie should consider these justifications, or should counter these justifications with good basic reasoning, explaining that accounting practices require regularity, and that the entries simply cannot be classified differently because they choose to do so. The fourth question is, what levers can Bennie use to influence those that might disagree with him? Bennie has many levers he can use. Included in these are specifically the law regarding the maximum allowed return, generally accepted accounting principles and basic accounting standards that should be followed, the company's own policy on honesty and integrity, and making appeals to their own personal integrity, those who supervise him. And the final question that I would like to answer is, what would be my final advice to Bennie and why? I think my final advice would be to tell him to do what is right, whether that leads to difficulty at work or the need to leave the organization. He has an ethical duty to uphold, and he would feel better by doing what he knows was the right thing to do. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.